Coming up.
We're out.
How many friends?
Just two of my buddies, so three of us. We're outside talking. We decided to come back in. When I pulled on the door, it was latched. It was locked.
Locked out from where?
From his balcony.
Okay. Is that an emergency at 3 o'clock in the morning?
According to our lease agreement, it's not.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's what he signed.
Locked out?
Yeah, there's a separate clause for lockouts. A lockout is a separate policy than if it were a emergency situation.
I don't like you, Miss Lee. I don't like you, and I don't like where you're going. Explain what happened in your apartment.
I'm suing my landlord, Miss Lee, for $300 because I was stuck out in my balcony in the middle of the night for 3 hours. I tried calling the emergency hotline. She didn't pick up. So I ended up calling an emergency locksmith service and paid $300 out of my pocket.
Okay, so what were you doing out in your balcony at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the
Yes,
morning?
I work as a PA on set, so I usually come home around 1 a.m. I had two of my friends over. We're just hanging out in the balcony. And around 2 a.m., we try to get back inside.
Okay, how long have you lived in the apartment?
Since last year, November.
So apart from this time, no other issues?
We had more issues than the balcony door. The washer and dryers never got fixed. I've notified her. They still haven't been fixed. And a towel rack in my bathroom is still broken.
All right, so you're aware that his towel rack's not working and that you need to fix the washer and dryers.
I've been pretty diligent with following up on maintenance issues. It's an old apartment, so things get broken, but we address things in a timely manner.
So did you replace the washer and dryer?
Yeah.
All right, so then what happened on this day? You come home late from work, you go outside of your balcony.
We're out.
How many friends?
Just two of my buddies, so three of us. We're outside talking. We decided to come back in. When I pulled on the door, it was latched. It was locked.
So you did what you normally do?
Yes.
You weren't out there partying, you weren't out there drinking, you weren't out there doing anything, you were just relaxing in a balcony with your two buddies.
Yes, Your Honor.
And for some reason, the door is stuck.
Yes, Your Honor.
You cannot get back in.
Correct.
What time is it right now?
Around 2 a.m., I called my landlord 10 times. I left her first voicemail around 2:05. And I waited about an hour. I called her back 3 a.m., still no answer. I got scared. I started calling for an emergency locksmith service.
And what do they do? How do they get into your apartment in the front door?
Well, I called about 3 places, and the guy who was able to come, he said it's going to take about an hour. So he came around 4:30.
And was your front door locked?
It was locked.
So he had to break into that lock?
Yes.
Miss Lee, what do you do when a tenant calls you after hours?
Well, if it is an emergency, then we respond within the hour.
And how do you determine if it's an emergency?
In this particular case, it honestly didn't even sound like an emergency when he first called. His friends were giggling in the background. It looked like...
What did the voicemail say?
Basically, it says that he's locked out and he needs to get back in.
Locked out from where?
From his balcony.
Okay. Is that an emergency at 3 o'clock in the morning?
According to our lease agreement, it's not.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's what he signed.
Locked out?
Yeah, there's a separate clause for lockouts.
Do you specifically say being locked out of your balcony is not an emergency?
Well, it doesn't specifically say that, but it also specifically has a lockout. We also have a specific lockout policy.
What's a lockout? What's your lockout policy?
Well, per lease agreement, it says the tenant may contact the landlord to assist with re-entry. At the landlord's discretion, the landlord may assist the tenant with re-entry.
So this is not your typical re-entry, what you mean. This is not going in through the front door. This is somebody being stranded in a balcony. What floor do you live on?
Second floor.
Second floor. He's stranded in a second floor balcony.
Right. So I hear your point, but at the end of the day, it's in our contract that a lockout is a separate policy than if it were a emergency situation.
I don't like you, Miss Lee. I don't like you, and I don't like where you're going. So based on the evidence, I will grant the plaintiff's claim of $300, and on top of that, I'm going to award you $500 more because I feel that the defendant acted egregiously and she acted unreasonably by putting the burden on you and not having to fix it, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
So those are punitive damages, Miss Lee, so you don't do that to any other tenant. So based on the evidence, I will grant you a claim of $800. Use it and go find yourself a new apartment.
Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Clark, okay? Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to...
I like how this judge takes everything into account and then really, I feel like that was fair because already he testified that she has already been negligent as a landlord, isn't fixing washer dryers and stuff like that, and she didn't deny it. It was his word against hers, and she didn't even deny that. So clearly, it is the truth. What do you guys think about this judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? Let me know your thoughts. Love ya.